Have you ever wished your wrinkled shirt could just iron itself in seconds? Or what if you could grab a whole birthday cake from a vending machine? Well, in Japan, these things aren't just wishes. They're actually everyday realities. So today, we're going to dive into some of the small but absolutely genius innovations that make life in Japan so incredibly unique.
I mean, think about it. You're out, you suddenly remember it's a friend's birthday. How do you get a cake, like right now, ready to go?
Or you know that feeling when you're running late, you pull out a shirt and it's a wrinkled mess with no time to iron? Yeah, Japan has a solution for that too. So let's start by looking at some of these small but brilliant gadgets for everyday life.
First up, Part 1, Everyday Ingenuity. We're talking about clever solutions for those little things that annoy all of us.
Okay, we've all been there. The stapler jams, or worse, you run out of staples right when you need one. Japan's answer? Just get rid of the staples completely. This is a staple-less stapler. It works by punching a tiny flap in the paper and then tucking it through a slit, basically binding the pages together with themselves. It's brilliant. No waste, no refills, just a clever little bit of paper origami.
And here's a fix for that universal problem, wrinkled clothes when you're in a rush. In Japan, you can buy a special wrinkle remover spray. You just give your shirt a quick spritz, a little shake, and the wrinkles literally just fall out. It's a huge time saver, and hey, you skip the iron and save a little electricity.
Are you tired of those sticky, smelly mosquito sprays? I know I am. Well, in Japan, they use these incredibly simple repellent stickers. You just peel one off and stick it on your clothes, like on your sleeve or your pant leg. The patch releases a scent that keeps mosquitoes away, creating this personal, bug-free zone without any of the mess.
So you've seen coin laundries for clothes, right? But what about for your shoes? Japan has them. These are dedicated machines that will wash your dirty sneakers and then, get this, dry them so completely that you can put them right back on and walk out the door. It's amazing.
Now, this incredible attention to detail doesn't just stop with personal items. Let's move on and see how it applies to the world of food, which is where Japanese ingenuity is really on full display.
2 minutes. That's it. That's how long it takes to get a fresh birthday cake from a vending machine. And we're not talking about some little cupcake. This is a full-on layered cake with different flavors, perfectly packaged in a can that comes with its own spoon, totally ready for a spontaneous celebration.
You know the feeling. You pack this amazing lunch, you're looking forward to it all morning, and by noon, it's just cold and sad. Well, Japan has a solution for this. Check out these lunch boxes with a built-in heating system. All you do is pull a string on the side, and a chemical reaction instantly warms up your meal. It gets steamy and delicious, just like it was freshly made.
Okay, this one might seem small, but it shows such incredible thoughtfulness. In Japan, when you open a yogurt, the lid comes off perfectly clean, every time. It's coated with this special material that just repels the liquid. So absolutely nothing sticks to it. No more scraping the lid, just a simple, super satisfying, mess-free experience.
And that thoughtfulness definitely extends to restaurants. So if you're eating something messy like chicken wings, instead of a flimsy napkin, they might give you these compact plastic gloves that just cover your fingertips. And if you do happen to spill something on your clothes, a lot of places have stain-removing stickers you can just grab and rub on the spot to make it disappear. That is truly next-level customer service.
All right, so we've seen innovations for personal use and for food. Now let's kind of zoom out and see how this same mindset improves public life for absolutely everyone.
It is a pretty surreal sight, but in cities like Nara, you'll see wild deer just wandering the streets as casually as people do. They're protected and treated with so much respect that they've become incredibly tame. It's just this unique and beautiful example of how urban spaces can be designed to create harmony between humans and nature.
You know that gap between the train and the platform? It can be a real barrier for people in wheelchairs or even parents with strollers. Well, in many Japanese stations, when a train arrives, automatic ramps actually rise up from the platform to completely bridge that gap. It creates a seamless, totally safe path so everyone can board easily.
During the winter, icy sidewalks are a huge public safety hazard. Japan's solution is so simple and community-focused. They place these salt boxes along roadsides, and they're filled with free packets of salt. Anyone can just grab one and sprinkle it on a slippery patch, helping to keep the walkways safe for the whole community.
So imagine walking into a clothing store and seeing the mannequins walking. They're on a slow-moving track. It's a little surprising at first, for sure, but the reason for it is incredibly practical. It shows you exactly how a skirt flows or how a jacket hangs when you're in motion, giving you a much more realistic idea of how the clothes actually fit and look. Okay, for our final section, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Because in Japan, this culture of innovation isn't just about convenience. It's also deeply connected to community safety and being prepared. Because Japan is so prone to natural disasters, they've really shifted their thinking from just reacting to disasters to being proactive. And they've created some really powerful, hands-on ways for citizens to prepare.
At special disaster preparedness centers, you can actually experience stunningly realistic simulations of earthquakes and typhoons. And the goal isn't to scare you, it's to educate you. These simulations teach people exactly how to react, where to find shelter, and what to do to survive, building this powerful culture of preparedness across the entire community.
You know, from yogurt lids that stay clean to sidewalks that anyone can de-ice, what we see in Japan is this deep commitment to thoughtful, community-focused design. And it really leaves you with a question, right? What's one small, clever idea, like a stapler or a free packet of salt, that could make your own community just a little bit better?